And welcome back to the show. Our next guest has a great history, a rich one. He's got a resume that serves in the military and goes from there to becoming also a model, a fashion designer, as well as a social media influencer. He is finally reaping the benefits of his work, spent modeling, fashion designing, and acting, and creating grooming products. He is a social media influencer and model coordinator at Richmond, Virginia Fashion Week. Stephen Adkins, and we welcome you back to the show, Steve. Good to have you, man.
Thanks, man. Great to be here. So good to see you, and missed you guys, and I'm just really thankful and humbled to be here again.
Yeah, well, a lot is going on since the last time we got together, and you got not just you're doing the modeling piece, but also you've got a grooming line. So tell me about this.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it, getting into the actual grooming space. Coming out with, we just launched it last month. Dealing with men's hair care products, beard care, hair care. So it's just one of these things that, for the longest time, I always had companies reaching out to me that wanted me to either ambassador for them or represent their products. And it was one of those things that I just didn't really feel that comfortable doing. Now I know why. Being able to create and launch my own that I use personally, stand behind, everything is all natural. Made in California. So it's just fantastic to be entering into this new space.
Yeah, and it's a new space for you, but we've known you the last time we were talking, you were doing modeling, and talk to us about where that is. And I know you're still doing some great work there too.
Yeah, absolutely. So just recently landed my 4th magazine cover, which is pretty cool. One of those things that, you set out goals to like, man, I one day would love to be able to do that. But I think with 2020, things kind of slowing down. It seems like everything is ramping up this current year, and it's just one thing after another. So still enjoying doing editorial modeling and doing features in magazines and stories behind kind of my rise to what I'm doing nowadays. Even get to model still a little bit for Richmond and in the DC area. We're going to be doing some shoots in Miami coming up. So it's nice to still be able to, be in demand and get those shoots in when I can.
Yeah, staying very, very busy there too. And you're also a newest member of the Silver Fox Squad.
Oh yeah, man. That's one of my highlights of this year. So I was actually approached by celebrity influencer Irvin Randall, as some of you may remember. He was Mr. Steal Your Grandma. He became kind of a national sensation a few years ago. And he decided to put together a group of men of like-minded Silver Fox gentlemen, really to collaborate and do good. So we wanted to set an example that as you age gracefully, that you can still be all about mental health, physical health, and still be on fashion, on point. So he had reached out to me a few months ago and asked, he was like, man, I would love for you to be a part of this group. So I went down to Houston and went through the introduction and did our intro videos. So there's 12 of us, which is really cool. Now, interestingly enough, this used to be a majority only in African-American men, but he wanted to reach across the aisle and make this more of a global, being the first white gentleman in the group. We're looking for Asian, we're looking for Latino. So he really wants to make this a global effort of Silver Fox gentlemen and really try to figure out the best way that as a force together, we can do good, show good fashion, keep health, all of those great things. So it's a great effort that we're putting together.
And so you have to create this balance, right? Because you got your grooming going, you got the Silver Fox going, you got, photo shoots. What's it been like for you, as this influencer and this public figure that now is all of a sudden got their calendar with very little white spaces?
It's been a lot of fun. I've actually had to hire an assistant, and I've got a manager. So it got to the point where, you can only do but so much on your own. And I've just had to get to the point where I've hired the right people to help support. Because you're right, the calendar can get full really fast. It's interesting enough now that the more I'm out and about in Richmond, starting to get recognized. And, I've done a lot of television commercials and editorial things here locally in publications. So it's interesting that you're getting to that point of, hey, I know you from somewhere. I've seen you somewhere. So that's been a lot of fun to kind of experience that now. But yeah, you're right. You've got to have the right team in place to kind of help me manage all the multiple things that I have going on.
Let me run back to your grooming products for a minute. They're out now. And so how do people put their hands on it?
Yeah, through so I've got my website set up. It's stephenatkins.us, just www.stephenatkins.us. We ship globally, so it's really doesn't matter. Everything's there. You can select, pay for, and then we ship it direct. So I'm really excited about that. One of the main things that we're really pushing for currently is to get into your local barbershops and salons. So we do have wholesale pricing, so we can set that up for retail settings, which we see a lot of my local barbershops are loving it. And the fact that they, can have that relation where it's the smaller business and they know me. And then there's that public figure aspect of it being able to attach to. So it's been really cool seeing it kind of grow from the ground up.
Yeah. So what advice are you giving to people these days? I mean, especially after COVID and the pandemic, because I
Yeah.
won't say after because we're still navigating this, right? But what advice do you give? Because you've been heavy on the grind, even though things have been shut down.
Yeah, definitely. You just had to kind of diversify. A lot of the things that I've been giving advice on, since naturally people aren't wearing as much, going into work, our whole dynamic has kind of changed. I'm really getting into the capsule collection of clothing where you have like 10 or 15 pieces and they're all interchangeable. So you don't need, 100 pieces in your wardrobe anymore. You could really do two or three or four or five and then add some accessories to it. So that's really what I've been doing because people are dressing differently. So we're paring down a lot. We're getting rid of a lot of the clutter, and let's just do like a capsule collection. So that's been a lot of fun to try to give that advice on, and as well as to try to find ways to still stay relevant in whatever industry that you're in, especially in the modeling industry, because a lot of the fashion weeks went virtual or a lot of things just kind of shut down. There's still ways that you can get involved with either via Zoom or via different publications that are still printing and things like that. So there's still opportunity out there, and even acting, getting into the smaller scale commercials and things of that nature. There's still plenty to do. You just kind of think outside the box a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna hire you so that way you can have me look at my Zoom best, and so we continue to navigate through this Zoom
I
because
love it, man.
everybody needs a little Zoom upgrade.
That's it. That's it. That's exactly right.
Stephen Adkins, good to have you here on the show again. Thanks again for being with us, brother.
Thanks, man. Great to see you. I really appreciate it.
Yes, and we want to let people know if you want more information, follow him on Instagram at Atkins.Stephen and also on Facebook at Model Stephen Adkins. Encourage you, don't go anywhere. We do have more open, I should say, coming back right after this.